Hello, dear students. Today we will discuss cytoplasmic inheritance as prescribed in the course of your paper Genetics and Plant Breeding. As we all know that genes which are located on chromosomes inside the nucleus play a key role in heredity, and this is called a nuclear inheritance. But in some cases, extranuclear genes or DNA molecules in cytoplasm of many prokaryotes and eukaryotic cells, the DNAs of semi-autonomous cell organelles like plastids and mitochondria also influence the heredity, and such type of inheritance is called a cytoplasmic or extranuclear or non-Mendelian inheritance. Some of the examples in your syllabus are like number one, maternal inheritance in Lemnia peregrina, coiling in gastropods. Another example is extranuclear inheritance of plastids in Mirabilis jalapa or 4 o'clock plant. Extranuclear inheritance of mitochondria, extranuclear inheritance of endosymbionts like bacteria, viruses, or like sigma particles in Drosophila and kappa or mu particles in Paramecium. Uniparental inheritance in Chlamydomonas reinhardti and cytoplasmic male sterility in G. maize. First of all, we will discuss the inheritance of shell coiling in snails. This is also referred as predetermined inheritance, cytoplasmic inheritance, extranuclear inheritance, or maternal inheritance. It was first studied by Sturtevant 1923 in a gastropod Limnia peregrina. What he found that there were two types of shells. Number one is a dextral shell, which is a clockwise coiled shell. Dextral means right-handed coiling, and the other shells is of sinistral type, sinistral shell, which is anti-clockwise coiled. The dextral shell is governed by a dominant gene, capital D, and the sinistral is due to the recessive gene, small d. These two genes, small d and capital D, are inherited as according to Mendelian laws, but their action on any genetic combination is visible only in the next generation after the one in which the given genotype is formed. To study the cause of dextral coiling and sinistral coiling, he experimented on these gastropods and he found that there are two types of eggs in this type of organism. In dextral female, which is homozygous, means having capital D homozygous genes, the cytoplasm contains special proteins. These dots, as you can see, these dots, these are representing the proteins in cytoplasm, and the D capital shows the genes in the nucleus. Now these proteins have some impact during embryogenesis, which actually causes the dextral coiling of the progeny. While in sinistral females having homozygous recessive genes, small d, there are no such proteins in the cytoplasm. Since egg plays an important role during fertilization, a maximum portion of cytoplasm is contributed by egg. Hence, this dextral female passes on these protein particles to the embryo and dextral coiling appears. Here, the cytoplasm is lacking these proteinaceous particles. Hence, dextral coiling cannot be inherited in the next progeny. No dextral coiling will appear by this female gamete, while this will produce dextral coiled eggs and embryos. Now the heterozygous females are of two types. As you can see, this is heterozygous female. If this female has received small d, means recessive gene from her mother, then it will be sinistral because this D has not passed the proteins of the egg in the cytoplasm. But due to the capital D, it is heterozygous and it has the ability to produce those eggs which have proteins. This female is sinistral because it has received the cytoplasm from a recessive mother, but this has a dominant gene, hence it can produce the eggs having proteins. Hence further she will be able to produce dextral progeny. Now the heterozygous female which has received dominant gene D from mother and small d recessive gene from father, she will be a dextral because this capital D mother has passed the proteins in the cytoplasm responsible for dextral coiling. This type of female will be able to produce the egg like this, having proteins in the cytoplasm, and she will also produce dextral progenies. Since the fate of progeny is predetermined at the time of egg formation, means the egg is responsible for the progeny to be formed, hence this is also called a predetermined inheritance. Now to understand this phenomena, we will carry out two crosses and both are reciprocal, means once we will take a dextral female and in the next cross we will take a dextral male. Here dextral female is crossed with a sinistral male. The problem number 1 is now when dextral female is crossed with a sinistral male. This dextral will produce egg D and this sinistral male produce sperm. The gamete will be written as D and small d. Fertilization. Now the progeny F1 will be formed. Since this D is having the cytoplasm containing all those proteins which are responsible for right-handed coiling. Also both of the genes are in dominant phase. Hence all will be dextral. The F1 generation will be dextral. If we self out this dextral with another dextral, we consider one as a female and another dextral as a male and form a Punnett square for F2 generation. Now arrange these gametes D and D and D and D here for male and for female. Now the individuals formed will be having genotype 1:2:1. 1 homozygous dominant, 2 heterozygous ones, and the last homozygous recessive. Here this will be dextral, 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 and again this will be dextral. Although it has both the genes of recessive conditions, but since this heterozygous mother is able to produce an egg having proteins responsible for dextrality, hence the progeny by this female when it is fertilized with the small d of male will be a dextral instead of sinistral. Now if we consider all these 4 individuals as females, write these as here, this one here, number 3rd here, number 4th here. Consider that these all are females, dextral, 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 dextral. And again cross with any male, homozygous dominant, homozygous recessive or heterozygous male. Then in F3 generation, this female will always produce all dextrals, this all dextrals, all dextrals, but this female which itself is a dextral due to the inheritance from her mother but is not able to produce the egg having those proteins in the cytoplasm which is responsible for dextral coiling. Hence even if it is fertilized with a homozygous dominant male, it will not be able to produce dextral progeny. It will produce only sinistral, all sinistral progenies. Hence 3:1 type of ratio will be seen in F3 generation. Now considering the other cross where we have taken a sinistral homozygous female with a dextral homozygous male. The egg will be small d, here capital D. And now the progeny will be sinistral. As you can see, it has capital D for dextrality from its father. But since it has gained small d gene, recessive gene from her sinistral mother, hence it will be a sinistral instead of dextral. Means the capital D dextrality of male cannot be manifested here. The dextrality and sinistrality is not determined by the gene of the individual, but those by the gene of the mother. Since the mother was sinistral, this progeny F1 will be sinistral. On selfing, arrange these gametes, male gametes and female gametes. We will get 4 individuals. The genotypes will be 1 homozygous dominant, 2 heterozygous dominant, heterozygous, and 1 homozygous recessive. Now all the phenotypes will be dextral. This is dextral, 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 and this one will be also dextral, because from here the capital D gene enables it to form the egg having proteins in the cytoplasm responsible for dextral coiling. Now if we consider 1, 2, 3, 4 as all females, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are considering that all these 4 are females, and now we are crossing it with any type of male, DD capitals, or homozygous recessive or heterozygous male. Then in F3 generation, this female will produce all individuals dextral, dextral, dextral. Only this female will not be able to produce dextral even if she is crossed with a homozygous dominant DD male. So finally, in the crosses, we have observed in F2 generation, if these types of males are crossed with homozygous dominant females, all dextrals will be produced, and if such type of males will be crossed with a recessive female, homozygous female, in spite of having capital D's, these all progenies will be sinistral. In spite of being dextrals, this female will produce all sinistral progenies. So it is clear that the paternal genotype is not crucial in determining the phenotype of the offspring. Rather, it is determined by the maternal genotype. Hence, this is also called maternal inheritance. Now, in the next lecture, we will discuss the plastids, inheritance of plastids in 4 o'clock plan. Thanks.